Our first recipe is pepperonata, peppers sautéed with olive oil and capers. Serving 4. Ingredients are 1 cup or 4 ounces seeded red bell peppers cut in 1-inch wide strips, 1 cup or 4 ounces seeded green bell peppers cut in 1-inch wide strips, 1 cup or 4 ounces seeded yellow bell peppers cut in 1-inch wide strips, 1 cup or 4 ounces white onion 1/4 inch dice, 1 clove garlic minced, 1/4 cup or 2 ounces olive oil, 3/4 cup or 4 ounces peeled seeded tomatoes 1/4 inch dice, 2 tablespoons fresh chopped basil, and 1 tablespoon rinsed capers.
Okay, the next dish we're going to prepare is a pepperonata, a dish that you'll find throughout Italy. There's different versions of it. We're going to prepare a southern Italian version, and actually a version that Lorenzo told me his grandmother used to make, the way his grandmother used to make it, where we simply slice the peppers and cook them with sofrito and a little basil and olive oil and capers. You might see it in other places where the peppers may be roasted, or you may see additions in certain parts of Italy, perhaps with like a little raisin or pine nut in it too, and a little more vinegar to make a little sweet and sour. So we're going to do a basic version today, which was one of Lorenzo's grandmother's favorite dishes, actually. And the ingredients are some lovely peppers. You can use a variety of colors. We have some onion, diced onion, some minced garlic, tomato concassé, where you refined it a little bit instead of just using diced tomatoes. We have some basil, capers, extra virgin olive oil, and some minced parsley. And so we're going to start the dish just by preparing our sofrito, which is a flavoring base. It's a starting point in many recipes. It's kind of like the equivalent to the French mirepoix. We're going to use some onions and garlic in our sofrito today. It can contain other items such as shallot, leek, maybe even the addition of white wine after those items are sweated, or red wine, before adding the other ingredients in the recipe. Today it's going to be very, very simple. Olive oil, garlic, and one thing you want to be careful of, especially with your garlic being very small, you don't want to get the pan too hot, because if you get it too hot, you add your garlic, you burn it, then you need to throw everything in the garbage and start over again, because the garlic will be bitter. So we just want to get this going. Got a little sizzle. Okay, we're going to allow this items to cook a little bit. We can actually go a little more than sweating. We'll want to start to see just a little bit of color on the onions, and then we can go in with the tomatoes. So while we're cooking down the sofrito, we will prepare some of the peppers. We'll start with the yellow. And there's different ways you can cut a pepper. I'll show you a simple way where we're just going to cut into it, and we'll kind of roll the pepper and cut around the seeds. Get rid of most of the seeds here. So we'll have some yellow pepper. We'll work with the green so we have a nice variety of flavor and color. Check the pan. It's looking good, smells good. Red. And we could cut various shapes with the peppers. You could do a dice, you could do a julienne. Traditionally, it's about the size of a pinky. Okay, so I'm going to cut these. I'm going to remove the rib. And we're not going to worry about squaring these up. We're just going to get the ribs out, flatten them a little bit. We don't want to forget about the sofrito back there. We want to check on it, make sure it's looking good. It's going to have some wonderful colors going on with this dish. And you could also use, if you get the purple bell peppers in your area, you could use those as well. Add another. Okay, let me check the pan. Oh, starting to get a little color back there, so we're going to add in the tomatoes. Add about half of this tomato. Okay, I'm going to get this other pan just started to heat up just a little bit because we're going to start our peppers in there. I'm going to add the capers that have been soaked. And salt. Pepper. And we want this just on low heat, and we can get our peppers going. I'm going to heat the olive oil just a little bit. I think you'll find it much easier if you cut your peppers starting from the flesh side as opposed to the skin side, because this is much more tender. And we are doing this traditionally. We're not peeling the peppers. We're leaving the skin on. If you want to elevate and refine the dish a little more, you could square up your peppers, peel them, which makes them more delicate. And also some of the people tend to be have a little gas from the skins of the peppers, so if you peel them, it might be gentler on some people's digestive tracts. I believe there's an Italian saying about pepper eaters and gas. Perhaps when we see Lorenzo later, he can tell us what the saying is. And again, you know, if you really want that smoky roasted flavor, you can do this dish with the roasted peppers. There's a part of Italy in the Piemonte region, Cerignola, that's famous for its bell peppers. They grow them. They grow a lot of them in hothouses up there, and they're really big peppers. They really have a beautiful shape, and they're very tasty peppers. Okay, so we have our hot olive oil. We have our peppers. And we're going to saute these, and really just going to saute these for a couple minutes. We don't want the skins to come off them. We want them to be soft, but still have a little texture. We don't want a mushy, stewed mess of peppers for this dish. So salt, and pepper. And this dish would be a nice part of an antipasti platter. Maybe some cured meats and marinated artichokes and tomatoes and cheeses. And could work like that. It also could be nice accompaniment to a piece of grilled fish or a grilled piece of meat. So we're going to chiffonade some basil leaves. And we'll add this to the tomato and just let it cook in there for a minute into the sofrito tomato mixture. We don't want it to cook too much. We want to maintain the fresh flavor. Roll those up. Have just a little fresh parsley, so we're going to go in there. Give this a nice toss. It smells really good. The heat is releasing the flavor and aroma from the capers, and the peppers smell great. We don't want any flames coming up. We don't want carbon flavor in our dish. Not making Chinese food. See the vibrant colors? Looks great. Just want them to cook just a little bit more, soften just a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna give this about 2 minutes, and it looks like in about 2 minutes we'll be ready to put this together. Okay, these peppers are looking really nice. They're just getting soft, but they still have their integrity. Skins aren't coming off. We're going to mix the sofrito in. And we're just going to toss everything together. And the basil's still nice and fresh. The parsley, tomatoes still have shape, texture, but everything is just cooked through. Just toss it a little bit, and we're ready to put it on a serving plate. As I mentioned, this could be served as a standalone part of an antipasti platter. You could actually chill it and serve it cold. It's got very lovely, vibrant colors. It could be a great side dish for a grilled steak. Got the nice, sweet, savory flavors. We could top it. We have just a little red pepper infused extra virgin olive oil, and not a lot, just a touch. And just finish it with a little fresh parsley. So here we have the classic version of pepperonata.